Howdy Ravens, and welcome to ONW Now. I'm Anna Marie Struck.
And I'm Katie Lockyer. This week we'll take a look at the production of ONW's Yearbook, the Kansas Music Educators Association, and the latest on our Raven athletics.
And now, on with the show. The Yearbook staff is working hard this year to meet deadlines and create a quality book for the student body. Let's take it over to Michael Decker for an inside look on what it takes to create a yearbook.
Yearbooks have become an integral part of the high school experience. Here at Olathe Northwest, our yearbook team is hard at work making this year's yearbook.
Our goal is to complete a book that represents the school population. We try to get as many students in our school in the book as possible with as few errors as possible. And so since the book represents the ONW community, it's very important for us to show the diversity and the different amazing students that are in our school.
We sat down with Megan Berg to help us understand what it takes to be in Yearbook.
A lot of dedication, for sure. I think it's very important. I know a lot of people think we just have food parties in here, but there's a lot of after-school hours that go into Yearbook, and there's a lot of creativity to the process, and you actually really have to be very passionate about the subject, because it takes a lot to ask someone a stupid question for your spread and everything. And
building a yearbook is hard and grueling work from start to finish. To help us understand the work that goes in the yearbook, we sat down with the yearbook staff.
The process, it's pretty complicated. I mean, a lot of people think we just take pictures, but there's a lot that goes into it. We have to go to the events, we have to shoot the events, and then we have to come back and we have to upload the pictures, we have to edit them, we have to see what shots are going to work good for the different spreads, and we also have to interview people for captions.
Due to 1/3 of the yearbook staff leaving due to graduation, some juniors are going to have to step up to the plate.
Excited. I have a lot of faith in our juniors. We have a pretty strong staff. We are losing a lot of seniors, so hopefully more people will join, but we have a pretty strong junior class, so I'm excited for what they can come up with.
It was great sitting down and talking with all the yearbook staff. And for all the seniors, make sure to turn in your senior ads. This has been Ethan Moore and Michael Decker.
What a great look at what goes on into our fabulous yearbook. Seniors, don't forget that March 13th is your deadline for senior ads. Now let's take it to game day.
What's Bracken Ravens? It's young Michael Decker. In the Cup main, you know how we coming.
And I'm Brogan Kibben. We are popping up in your hood with all the latest on Raven athletics from this past week.
Last night, the Ravens men's basketball team played their last game of the season, and for some of them, it was the last basketball game ever. The Blue Valley North Mustangs came into the game with some serious heat, which gave them a big advantage. Against the Ravens, ONW Zay Jajani scored the first 2 points against the Mustangs with a layup. At half, ONW was trailing Mustangs 29-11. The boys fought hard, but the Mustangs showed out and defeated the Ravens 59-39.
On Tuesday night, the Lady Ravens took on the Blue Valley Tigers for the first round of Sub-State. The girls dominated the scoreboard throughout the game, winning 43-29. Following the win, the girls continue their season on Friday night, facing off against Shawnee Mission Northwest Cougars. Hopefully, Holly McCormick can knock down more of those three-pointers. Also, speaking of three-pointers, Michael, how about those illegitimate birds that work for the government?
Well, I'm telling you, if you ever see a peacock, I suggest running the other directions. They are government spies. They are super spies, in fact. I would avoid them at all costs. And speaking of that, the varsity bowling team took to the lanes last Thursday for the regional competition. The boys took second and had some top 10 finishes from Spencer Griffin, Christian Kotwitz, and Zach Rawlings, and Craig Cooker. Also had a great performance in regionals as well. The ONW bowling team will be heading to Wichita today for their state competition. Good luck to all those who bowled. Last Friday, the Raven Wrestlers traveled to Heat Man Arena in Wichita and competed at state. 11 out of the 14 Ravens went to state. We had 2 placement, Caden Howard and Noah Sharp, Quentin Talbert, Brayden Heston, Harry Dowtwitt, Cade Conover, Daniel Thomas, Noah Conover, Lucas Conover, Nathan Smith, and Brett Ditchin. Had some tough matchups and ended up not placing, but fell recently close. And good job to the Ravens this season. Way to bring back some medals.
This year, ONW added a girls wrestling team for their wide range of sports available to the students. Lots of girls are actively participating already and loving the sport. Tressa McKiff has the inside scoop.
So a bunch of the other schools, kind of like Spring Hill, Gardner, they've had girls teams for a while now, so it's kind of, they've built their programs. This year it was kind of us pioneering for our own program here, which I thought was pretty cool. That way, you know, we could kind of compete with them, and like just even in our matches, you could tell like the training that we had matched the training that they did.
This year was actually my first year. Last year I was a manager, and just Coach Mesa and Gianna wanted me to just go out for wrestling and try it. And so I did, and I didn't do too bad at it. A lot of the girls are new to it, but some of them have done like other like really physical sports, and I don't do contact sports or any other like rambunctious sport like this. So I had a little bit of a disadvantage, but I think I worked through it.
The new girls team has been able to easily connect with the boys and become one big team.
The boys kind of treat us as if like we're one of them. Yes, like they help mentor us, but they also understand like this is our first year, so they want to help us succeed as much as we want to help them.
They're really supportive, and we all support each other. For regionals, all the girls actually went up to support them. They always cheer us on. It's just, we're really tight.
I mean, we're all just kind of like one big family. It's not like, yes, we have a girls wrestling team, but we're also part of the wrestling team in general. So it's just kind of one big family.
Next year, I want to bring more leadership to the team, and now I think that me and the 4 other girls that are not graduating know what we're doing. We can kind of help out, just lead more to any oncoming girls that want to go out for it, and we now know what we're doing, so next year we can just go off with like a running start.
I think I want our program to be like bigger. I know right now we have a solid 5, which is pretty good to start, you know. But I think in coming years I want to see more girls come out and try it. It's really fun, it really gets you in shape, and like you just enjoy every minute of it. It takes a lot out of you, but in the end you're gonna appreciate it. And like even for me now, being a senior, I'm already missing it, so.
For next year, my goal is try to make it to state or further into regionals. And for leadership-wise, like our team this year was super tight, but if we could just be like better, if that makes sense, because we did have a few little misconceptions with some people, but yeah.
Definitely, like just since it was our first year, we weren't really sure how matches were gonna go, so we all just wanted to try and do our best each match. For me personally, one of my goals was to just perform well throughout the whole season and perform well at league, which I did, so yeah.
The girls work very hard and have high expectations for themselves.
If you think that you can do it, go out for it, but don't think that it's good. You're gonna be treated like a normal girl, you're gonna be treated like the guys, and you have expectations to work hard. And if you don't, then you're kinda out.
For ONW Now, this has been Tressa McKiff.
That's going to be all for us today, Ravens. Be sure to text Michael Decker at 816-193-5981.
Have a great rest of your weekend, Ravens.
Thanks for the update, boys. And like Brogan said, make sure you text Michael because he's single and ready to mingle. Now we welcome our special guest in the studio, Brian Paat, a state performer from this year's KMEA convention.
Well, hi, Ravens. Today with me, I have Brian Paat. And so, Brian, you have some experience before at KMEA. Tell us what that is and what we were doing there this year.
Yeah, KMEA is like an all-state convention where band directors and students come from across the state to hear performances. There are also clinics there for band directors to learn some stuff too. And the past few years, I've had the honor to perform with All-State Band and 2 of our school groups, Raven Winds and Raven Jazz 1, which was a really fun experience overall.
Amazing. So tell me, like, what compares this year to previous years? What's something that you took out of this year's performance that maybe you didn't get last year or the year before?
Yeah, this year in Raven Winds, we had a great opportunity to work with our United Sound Club and perform with them at KMEA, which is our United Sound is our special education students getting to perform with new instruments, and they get to learn a bunch of things. They meet once a week, which is pretty cool, and we performed a piece with them at KMEA called Northwest Odyssey, and it was really fun because we got to collaborate and make music together, which is what we're in it for.
Now that's awesome. Now I also understand that that Northwest Odyssey piece was written for us.
Yeah.
And that was, who was that?
Yeah, it was written by the world-renowned Dr. Richard Saucedo, who is from Indiana, who is one of the greats, and I think his bands have made it to the top places in concert band competitions, marching band, all that stuff. He's one of the top of those teachers.
Wow, that's amazing. Brian, thank you so much.
Of course.
And toss it back to you guys.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of ONW Now, and for more updates, check out our Instagram and Twitter at ONW Raven Daily.
And be sure to check out our website, theravendaily.com, for more news and updates on sports information. For Katie and the rest of the Convergence team, this has been Anna Marie Struck, and we'll see you next week, Ravens.